Welcome to Elite Waterworks Part 1 and 2. So level 5. 1 rank from 6. Let's take a look at the enhancements first. So just going with the Enlightened Spirit thing for now. Got nothing else in any of the other trees. We're gonna get some MRR and PRR, spell power, and then a little bit of oh, that's PRR as well. So nothing out of the ordinary going on there. Look at the gear. Got resistance 3 on the goggles. Invulnerability on the skirmish chainmail. I don't know how much longer that's going to be a thing, but I've talked before about how when you're crafting, make sure you get that highest absolute minimum level kind of item, like armor, actually, or shield to craft onto. In this case, skirmish chainmail is your minimum level 4 version, and that's going to have a little bit higher armor and max dex bonus than just like the regular chainmail. And then as you work up in levels, you get, I can't remember what they're called, but at level 10 there's a new like Feycraft chainmail or something, and then 16 I think you got like mountain, and then 22 celestial. So again, look for the highest absolute minimum level version that you're going to use as a crafting plank. Enchantment save 6 on the bracers, that's the same as before. It's worth emphasizing that that enchantment save does stack with regular resistance because it's specific to a certain school. So that's 6 over and above the +3 resistance that I would get to all saves. So it's +6 specifically to like enchantment spells, like being held, for example. Resonance 48 on the ring. Feather falling melee accuracy 10%, that's the same as last video. Strength 3 on the gloves. I could have strength 4 at level 5, but that would just put me at an odd number, so I didn't bother. Impulse 48 on the ring. Improve false life on the belt. Mostly crafted stuff. Charisma 3 on the cloak. Again, going up to 4 would put me at an odd number anyways. Good luck on the trinket. Han 4 on the necklace. And just found this random sheltering +5 spot 5 on the helm. +4 crafted light mithril shield. So the finding mithril shields can be tough. There are still some chains that give them as end rewards. I think like Red Fens and Sharn Syndicate, for example. I'm sure there are some other old chains that are still giving these out as end rewards, but you're not going to find mithril in random loot anymore. And then a Radiant 41 Dagger of Kinetic Lore is just something I found. Alright. So Waterworks was very popular to farm back in the day. Maybe people even still do it. But there's just so much XP now that grinding quests over and over isn't really necessary. At least if you got all the bells and whistles. But I never really did much of that. So, this is a lot of these lobby quests are quests that I'm just, I know them, but I'm certainly no expert on them. So next level I'll be picking up in power, so the burst will be considerably more powerful. And I'm going to do a next video of Waterworks Part 3 and 4, so you'll be able to see a difference. Of course, those are one higher level. And then if I had Empower already, I probably would have, I'd be, one-hitting more things like those wolves. It took me 2 bursts to hit them, but if I had Empower at this point, probably would have wiped them out with just the single burst. Like I said before, if you do have a bonus feat, for whatever reason, like you're human, like you have a wizard level or something, taking that, maximizing Empower right away, can definitely be valuable and fun. And one of the things that can make the difference for you, like if you're if you got all your ship buffs, you're in a high level guild and you got a bunch of ship buffs and you got a decent amount of past lives and you feel like your defenses are where you want them to be, then you don't need to take shield proficiency general right away. But if you're a little bit newer, you're in a low level guild, you don't have a bunch of past lives, you might prefer to opt for that shield proficiency, right away, like I've done and I have posted on my build post. Just a preference. Normally I do my videos late at night, but it's actually morning for me right now. I mean, I just woke up is what I'm trying to say. So if I sound a little weird, like groggy or something, that's why. Oh, this was a great noob killer back in the day, wasn't it? But now we're invincible at low levels with all our past lives and all our crazy ship buffs and all our gear. That can still be a scary trap though, people are just starting to play. A lot of people forget that, people that have been playing a long time and got all the bells and whistles. Somebody just step into the game, have all that. And I'm about to experience that again too, because hopefully, maybe in another month or so, maybe probably after update 32 dies down, I want to get started on my next series, which is going to be the druid, my druid build as a true first life. Alright, straight into part 2. So, this is where I'm going to be doing, going to another server where I'm not going to have any friends and I'm not going to have any of my gear and I'm not going to have any of my plat. I'm not going to have any ship buffs. In fact, I'm not going to use ship buffs. Just like I did for the favorite Soul True First Life series, I'm not going to use any ship buffs throughout that entire series. Which is, I think a very artificial handicap, because even even a new person that doesn't have ship buffs, they can, if they're partying with somebody, they can get an invite to their guild ship and, have four or 5 hours of ship buffs. But, just for fun, I'm gonna go without. And this time, different from last time, I'm taking it all the way to level cap. I only went to level 20 when I did the favorite soul True First Life. And the favorite soul was a bad choice. It's the only class that doesn't have SLAs, and that just made mana I was just so mana starved, I felt. And, with the Evoker, I started out really weak in terms of, like, strength and dex and stuff. Because, I wanted to build for higher levels, but that made things really tough in the beginning. But, it was a good learning experience. It was a fun project, and it was a very humbling project. So I'm looking forward to sort of being back there, because I suspect that it's going to be humbling again. Although I'm as sure as I can be that I'm going to be a lot more successful doing it as my druid build. I mean, it's a build that I know much better and much more comfortable with, and mana won't be as much of an issue because I have tons of SLAs as a druid. But we'll see. I'm sure I'll see some surprises, and what I'm especially looking forward to in that series is getting into epics as a first lifer. I mean, wow, I haven't been in that position, and I mean, I guess since the level cap originally went to 25, And one of the other sort of fringe benefits of doing a series like that is it really helps me just, I guess, empathize more, or be able to relate more to, sometimes I get newer folks that are asking me questions, and it's easy for me to, after playing so long and, being in this awesome guild and having all the bells and whistles and all the buffs and stuff, to sort of forget, what that's like. This is just an optional area that I'm going down to. I just went down this way for fun. I don't normally go down here. I just was like, whatever. So here's a low-level craftable that's really nice. I didn't talk about this before, but just an item of secret door detection is really cool. But if you're an arcane, you can just get like a wand of detect secret doors. You can get just right there in the center of the market. But it's definitely nice to have. These low B secret doors can be detected pretty easily. If you just started playing this game in the last couple of years, one of the changes they made, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years ago, is that when you had true seeing, you were able to see any secret door, period. Whereas now, true seeing is only going to let you see it if it has a certain DC. So like you're running epic elites, true seeing isn't going to find your secret doors, even on some epic cards, which I found really frustrating. But that's the way it is now. Other changes that they made, probably right around the same time. I'm not really sure if it was the same time or not, but like we used to have like poison immunity items, and now we only have items that increase your saves, and so that's really frustrating. And they did that, which I thought this was really lame, honestly. They made that change. That's a trick secret door right there. They made that change when they raised the level cap to 25, and that was when they came out with the first expansion, which included a lot of drow and riders and stuff. And so, what do those creatures do? They poison you. So it was like they came out with all these creatures that do poison, and then they made it so that you couldn't be immune to poison. So it left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. And at the same time, they changed the way freedom of movement worked. You know, freedom of movement, for example, used to make you totally immune to all forms of web. And you know, they come out with all these driders and spiders and stuff in that expansion, so that's when they made that change too, that freedom of movement didn't work on certain kinds of webs. So you know, that's another thing that put a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. You know, we used to have disease immunity too, and that's another change that was made then. Now we only have saves against disease, higher saves against it. I like to clear all this stuff out because I don't want Arlos to get tangled up with something that happens to be floating around. Well, I think we got rid of all the trash. We'll give them a blur, that'll help a little bit. Mushroom, yoink. Hey, we got all the bedraggled prisoners. As you were running out, there used to be a kobold like way up in the rafters that he'd get caught up on. And, you know, if you didn't have a ranged weapon, that could be a real problem. I think they took him out. I'm gonna take a look. Used to be up there. There'd be a kobold like right up on the pipes, just one hanging out, throwing his little alchemist fires or whatever it is. Voice of the master on. Boom! Thanks for watching. My next video is gonna be part 3 and 4. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. If you have questions about my build, you can respond in the Warlock forum, and I'm going to link to my build in this video description. And if you happen to be on Sarlona, you are welcome to send me a tell.